Hi, my name is Kevin and welcome to this channel. Today I want to show you how I pressure can my chickens and beef. Jump to this time to see the process if you want to skip my explanation. The reason I'm doing this today is because of the price hike in the meat industry. 1 kilogram of ground beef is around 10 euros now, whereas 2 years ago it was 4 euros per kilogram. By doing this I can preserve the meat and extend its shelf life. For me it's a financial strategy. I buy it now at a lower price instead of working twice as hard in the future for the same amount of meat but double the price. Canning is an important skill for preppers that can help you preserve food for an extended period, save money and be more self-sufficient. The first and most significant benefit of canning is food preservation. When you can your own food, you are preserving it for an extended period, giving you a reliable source of food during an emergency or disaster. Canned food can last for years, so you won't have to worry about your food spoiling or going bad. This can give you peace of mind knowing that you have a long-term food supply that won't go to waste. Another benefit of canning is cost savings. When you can your own food, you can take advantage of seasonal produce when it's at its cheapest and preserve it for later. This can help you save money on groceries and reduce your overall food cost. So these jars that I canned on these dates, as you can see, they still look the same as they were canned yesterday. If you want to can any non-acidic food, you have to use a special piece of equipment called a pressure canner. On the other hand, foods like fruit, sweet preservers and pickles can be safely canned in a boiling water bed without the need for special equipment. This is because their pH level is more acidic. So this is my pressure canner. I've had it for a few years now and it's a 15-liter can. This red knob here is an important part of the canner. It ensures that if there is too much pressure inside, it will open up and release the pressure. This keeps everything safe and prevent any accidents. A pressure canner is a big pot with a lid that securely locks onto it. It also has a dial or weighted gauge that helps you control the steam pressure inside the pot by adjusting the heat of the burner. The steam inside the canner gets much hotter than boiling water. It reaches temperature of 115 or 120 degrees Celsius. This high temperature is necessary to kill any harmful microorganisms in low acid foods. In comparison, a boiling water canner only reaches 100 degrees Celsius, which is not hot enough to destroy spores that can cause botulism toxin. This is how I learned to do it, and it works for me and the stuff I make in the Netherlands. First, I cook the ground beef in batches and set them aside in a large pot. I add about 5 to 8 cm of water into the canner. I don't lock the lid yet, I just place it loosely on top. Then, I bring the water to a point just before it starts simmering. I fill one hot jar at a time. It's important not to fill a cool jar. I pack the food into the jar tightly, trying to avoid crushing it. To remove air bubbles, I use a thin and flexible spatula or a chopstick. I slide the stick between the jar and the food, which help release any trapped air. If needed, I add more hot water to adjust the headspace. In my case, I prefer using broth for this purpose. After filling the jars, I make sure to wipe the rim and threads of the jar with a clean cloth. Then, I place the lid on top and screw the band on fingertip tight. It's important to do this so that air can escape properly and create a good seal. I place the last jar in the canner, make sure that the water in the canner comes up only a few centimeters and does not cover the jars. Next, I carefully place the pressure canner lid on top and twist it to lock the handles in place. However, I don't add the regulator just yet. I turn the heat to high and allow full head of steam to come out of the vent pipe. I let it vent for 10 minutes before proceeding. After the 10 minutes, I can put the regulator on. When the pressure regulator starts to rock, I adjust the heat so that it makes a steady rattling sound. Then, I set a timer for the specified time indicated in the recipe, taking altitude into account if necessary. In my case, for chicken and beef, I always set a timer for 75 minutes. So, I forgot to film this part, but depressurize and open the canner. Once the recipe time is up, turn off the heat, but do not open the lid immediately. I wait until the regulator stops rattling and wait an additional 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I remove the regulator, allowing the remaining steam to escape. This indicates that the canner is no longer pressurized and safe to open. Unlock the handles and open the canner away from you to ensure that any steam is directed away. After opening the canner, I allow the jar to stand in the canner for about 10 minutes to cool slightly. Then I carefully remove them from the canner and place them on a wire rack or a kitchen towel. It's important not to tighten the lids at this point. I let the jars cool for 12 to 24 hours. Once the jars have cooled, I test the seals by pressing on the lid. It should not pop up or down, indicating a proper seal. If any jars haven't sealed correctly, I refrigerate that food and plan to consume it soon. For the jars with proper seal, I store them in a cool, dry place for long-term storage. And that's it. Canning is indeed an essential skill for preppers. And now you have learned the basics to get started. It's important to remember to always follow safe canning practices and use reputable recipes. In conclusion, canning offers numerous benefits such as preserving food, saving money, having control over the quality of your food, become more self-sufficient, and it can even be a fun hobby. I hope this information has inspired you to begin canning and incorporate it into your prepping plan. Whether you're already experienced in canning or just starting out, there's always something new to learn and explore. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching and stay safe.